now tended to glare angrily at him. Last, and definitely least, there was Johnny, the baby zombie villager who followed Bobby around like a tame wolf. Logan had never seen anything like it, and he'd spent a lot of time around zombies. Logan was the fifth and final member of their little troop, and he feared he might be the biggest fool of all, the king of fools. After all, he had agreed to join the others on what could only be described as a fool's errand. They were hunting a wither, an undead powerhouse with 3 heads, the power of flight, and an endless supply of explosive projectile skulls. Logan didn't have a strategy for fighting that. Not yet, anyway. A low, threatening growl sounded from nearby. At first, Logan thought it was Johnny. But then, an adult zombie lurched into view, emerging from the shattered doorway of the nearest structure. One of the 2 Bens, the older one this time, frowned at Logan. "One of yours?" he asked. "How should I know?" Logan complained. "I didn't give them name tags." He pulled his favorite diamond sword from his inventory. "What do you think you're doing?" Bobby said. "Put that sword away." "You can't be serious," Logan said. Johnny glared at Logan and growled. That's right. Even the undead baby was giving him attitude. How had it come to this? As if in answer to his unspoken question, Logan recalled the events that had led him here. It had been a simple idea, as most brilliant ideas are. Logan had enjoyed a long and successful career as an adventurer, but with success had come a number of grudges. He held a grudge against the aged, retired adventurer who had refused to take him on as an apprentice. He held a grudge against the band of heroes who'd rejected his application to their little club. And of course, there was his grudge against Bobby's whole village. They'd tried to deny him precious resources that, as an adventurer, should have been his for the taking. And so, Logan had turned his mind toward revenge, and on how to achieve it without putting himself directly in danger. And zombies were the answer. They were easy to find, easy to replace. Their numbers seemed infinite. And unlike the fellow travelers Logan sometimes relied upon, such as older Ben and younger Ben, and the devious duo known as Hatchet and Flip, zombies were extremely consistent. Their behavior was easy to predict, and therefore easy to control. Logan only had to gather them, point them in the direction of his enemies, and set them loose to do their worst. It worked better than he'd hoped. Bobby's entire village had been destroyed overnight. As her friends and neighbors had fallen to zombie attacks, they became zombies themselves, adding their number to the ranks of Logan's growing army. Other villages fell just as easily. There was only one weakness to Logan's wicked plan: the sunlight. Zombies burned up in the daytime. With one mistake of timing, in the blink of an eye, his entire army could be reduced to ash and rotten flesh. Logan couldn't risk that. The embarrassment would be too much, and the thought of starting over again from scratch was just too depressing. So, Logan began outfitting his army. Protected by iron helms, his zombies no longer had to be kept underground by day and attack only by night. Logan's movements were no longer constrained to the use of subterranean tunnels. He had been able to catch the overworld overlords off guard by launching an invasion in broad daylight. But it was when he went after the legendary pigstep Peggy that all Logan's plans fell apart, devolving into chaos. Peggy had met Logan's undead army with an undead force of her own.